key international transport hubs, including major airports. Ghana's ambassador to the United Arab Emirates led a team of officials from the embassy in Abu Dhabi and the consulate in Dubai to visit the injured nationals in hospital. The delegation offered support and reassured them of government's commitment to their welfare while they received treatment. The ministry urged calm among the Ghanaian community in the region, noting that consular assistance is being provided to the victims while officials continue to work closely with authorities in the United Arab Emirates to monitor developments. The ministry reiterated Ghana's long-standing commitment to protecting the welfare and safety of its citizens abroad, stressing that diplomatic missions around the world remain ready to provide assistance when necessary. Officials also indicated that the government is supporting ongoing consultations within the United Nations aimed at passing a resolution seeking a cessation of hostilities linked to the broader security situation that may have contributed to such incidents. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs says it is liaising with Ghana's diplomatic missions in the region and will provide further updates as the situation develops. Ghanaian nationals living in or working around the Gulf region have been advised to remain vigilant and strictly comply with directives issued by Ghana's embassies and local authorities to ensure their safety.
Back home in Ghana, Vice President Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman called for patience and public cooperation as government works to improve road infrastructure across the country, stressing the need for increased road safety education, including the use of footbridges to help save lives. She made the remark during a ministerial visit to the Ministry of Roads and Highways in Accra. Meanwhile, the Minister for Roads and Highways, Mr. Kwame Gavins Abuja, has assured that the ministry remains committed to delivering quality road projects and emphasized the need to engage more Ghanaian contractors in road construction as they are increasingly meeting the required standards.
Sunday, March 8th, marked International
We are working towards the success of the president that we have all supported. And we do that through the quality of work and the dedication that we bring to our activity. I hear the ministry on the anxiety of the public, on the types of roads they're looking for, and the speed with which they believe that the roads ought to have been fixed. I appreciate that. Those of us whose work normally takes us around the country, we know what it is like. If I live on a road where there's dust 24/7, some of us will wonder, what does that do to the children in the area? If you have a new baby or a young person and the person has allergies or anything like that, it means that the road is doing more than transportation. It's also dealing with health. It is dealing with education. It's dealing with everything. So I can understand the anxiety.
A few days ago, we took a decision to, for instance, redirect traffic around Tetekwashi for a very important exercise. We could carry out that exercise, the first phase, without the diversion, but it's risky because we are launching beams that are very heavy and can actually crash articulated truck and kill people in it. But when we attempted the first night, we saw the negative impact. We quickly pulled back, and now today or tomorrow we'll have a review to see whatever strategy we will use. It will have to be something that we can do together with the patience of everybody. We have taken steps to improve the quality of works you are going to see under President Mahama and your leadership. We want to build the most durable road, especially by Ghanaians. So we challenge the Ghanaian contractors who are the heart of your initiative, the Big Push, to rise up to the occasion. The idea that the Ghanaian contractor is incapable of building good roads, we want to make that history. It's not true. The Ghanaian will build a road now that will last longer than some of the roads built by foreigners. And we are determined to challenge ourselves about that.
The Vice President, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, has called for stronger support systems and inclusive policies to recognize and promote the contributions of women across all sectors of national development. She emphasized the importance of mentorship, unity, and equal opportunities to ensure that talent thrives regardless of gender. Professor Opoku-Agyeman made the remarks during the commemoration of International Women's Day at the Presidency.
Sunday, March 8th, marked International Women's Day, a day set aside to celebrate women around the world. At the Presidency on Wednesday, the Vice President, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, engaged the cross-section of women to commemorate the day. She stressed that the pursuit of gender equality must be intentional and consistent, highlighting the critical roles women continue to play at all levels of society.
We must also acknowledge that gender inequality persists in leadership, access to opportunities, workplace inclusion, and fair participation in decision-making. Overcoming these challenges calls for deliberate, ongoing, and collective efforts. And the theme we have today challenges us to go beyond words and focus on real, measurable actions that promote equity and create supportive environments where women can grow, lead, and succeed. By backing inclusive policies, promoting women's leadership, and making sure every voice is heard, we strengthen not only our workplaces, but also our nation's governance and growth. This is also the time for me to take this opportunity to praise the women in this office and all of you across the public service for your professionalism, dedication, and valuable contributions to national development. Ayuko, let us remember our shared responsibility to build workplaces where equity, respect, dignity, and opportunity are a reality for every woman, and let me add, for every man too.
This theme for this year's commemoration is From Commitment to Action, Promoting Equity for Every Woman in the Workplace. Globally, women still occupy less than 1/3 of senior leadership roles, according to the ILO. And this tells us that, yes, we have made progress, but there's still a lot more work that ought to be done. Equity must therefore be reflected not only in policy, but in practice. We need to create opportunities, we need to nurture talent, and that is how the pathways to leadership will be opened.
An interactive forum was later held to reflect on the achievements and roles of women and the way forward. From the Presidency, Rachel Porte reporting for GBC News.
The Food and Drugs Authority, FDA, has expressed grave concern over reports and videos circulating on social media alleging that some vendors are using plastic in frying plantain chips to enhance crispness and shelf life. A statement signed by the chief executive of the authority said nationwide market surveillance and laboratory testing of plantain chips have begun to verify these claims and protect public health.
Officials warned that melting plastic in hot oil directly contaminates food, making it unsafe for consumption. Scientific studies show that chemicals released from plastics at high temperatures can cause hormonal imbalances, endocrine disruption, and increase the risk of certain cancers. The authority cautioned vendors that under Section 100 of the Public Health Act, selling contaminated food is a criminal offense punishable by prosecution and permanent closure of businesses. Consumers are advised to be vigilant and avoid plantain chips with unusual chemical scents, plastic-like aftertaste, or abnormal texture. The FDA says it is working with local authorities and the police service to monitor vendors and enforce good manufacturing practices. It says updates will be provided once laboratory results are available, and the public is encouraged to report suspicious food preparation practices through official FDA channels.
The Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources has announced a major reform in the allocation of public lands aimed at improving transparency and boosting government revenue. Deputy Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Mr. Yusuf Suleimana, says the new framework being implemented in collaboration with the Lands Commission will require prospective leaseholders to pay at least 70% of the assessed market value of public lands upfront, while the remaining 30% will be paid as ground rent over the tenure of the lease.
The ministry, working with the Lands Commission, has compiled reliable land market values for various estates across the country. For instance, in Accra here, we have over 32 estates, and they have compiled market values of the lands in all these prime areas. What it means is that if you are applying for land, say in cantonments, this is not a time for somebody to go and value the land and come and tell us that this is the price or the market value of it. We already have it standardized and it's in the system. So there can't be any, if you like, personal or discretions where others will be favored against others. These market values will be published on the official website of the Lands Commission to provide transparency and also as a reference point for assessing land premiums and determine value for money consideration in public land allocations.
Take you to the eastern region, where smallholder poultry farmers in Koforidua have received day-old chicks, feeds, vaccines and technical support as part of government's poultry revitalization program, also known as Nkoko Nkete initiative. The Eastern Regional Minister, Mrs. Rita J. Awate, observed that the poultry subsector remains one of the most critical components of Ghana's agricultural sector.
At the Eastern Regional launch of the Poultry Revitalization Project, popularly called the Nkoko Nkete, the Regional Director of Agriculture, Madame Angela Owusu-Ansah, said the initiative is designed to promote smallholder poultry production by providing day-old chicks, feeds, vaccines and technical support to farmers.
As we move forward, there are important lessons to guide the improvement of the program. Among others, we recommend strengthened coordination among implementing partners, improved logistical planning for the delivery of chicks, feed and veterinary inputs, timely communication to districts and farmers, and enhanced support for monitoring and technical supervision at the district level.
The Eastern Regional Minister, Mrs. Rita J. Awate, said the initiative will strengthen the poultry industry and help achieve food self-sufficiency and improved livelihoods.
As you go out and you are about to distribute to them, take their contacts, ask them of their second number, and ask them how are the birds doing. Give them surprises. Enter into their farms without alerting them that you are coming around to see what they do to the farms.
Two beneficiaries, Mr. Michael Newman, who was last year's National Best Youth Farmer, and Madame Portia Owusu-Setre, 2024 Eastern Regional Best Livestock Farmer, who also doubles as a police officer, sharing their success stories, encouraged more youth to take advantage of this initiative to better their lives. The Eastern Regional Minister presented month-old chicks to the assemblies for onward submission to the various MCEs towards distribution to registered smallholder farmers across the region.
Abolo is a gluten-free, sweet and slightly sour steamed dumpling indigenous to the people of the Volta region. Abolo is always in sight whenever you travel along the Timpoku Road and on the Domi Bridge, the suspension bridge that passes over the Volta Lake, the world's largest man-made lake located in the eastern region. Abolo is ground-soaked corn flour that is steamed on leaves. It is best enjoyed with freshly ground and fried tiny white bakes known as 1 month thousand, pronounced by many as 1 month thousand. Carefully pay attention as Auntie Lizzie Ahiaje of the popular Abolo Bridge Junction in Accra takes us through the simple steps of preparing the ever-tasty abolo.
Simple as the abolo recipe looks, Auntie Lizzie says it takes 2 days to prepare authentic abolo. Let's get started by first knowing the ingredients for this sweet sponge-like dumpling popularly called abolo. The main ingredient, of course, maize or corn. You also need wheat flour, baking powder, yeast and sugar, which is optional. Remove any bad grain, garden debris and stones from maize. Wash in clean water and drain water. Take to the mill and grind into small grits. Wash grits in clean water to further remove chaff. Leave for about an hour for the maize to dry a bit. Mill again, but this time into a fine, smooth texture.
I have measured the quantity I need, that is 12 American tins of corn flour. When the water boils, I will prepare the porridge.
Boil water and use 2/3 of the flour to prepare a thick porridge. You can use an industrial hand mixer when preparing in a large quantity. Continuously mix well to avoid lumps. When the content is partially cooked, fetch and beat into a basin. Checklist. You know your dough is ready if it does not stick onto the plate used to fetch and does not easily dissolve in water when a bit is dropped into it. Sparingly spread out the dough in the basin to help it cool faster. When the dough cools, add the remaining portion of the corn flour, about 2 teaspoons of baking soda and a little bit of wheat flour to the content. Auntie Lizzie says she uses only baking powder to prepare her abolo as yeast is optional. With an electric hand mixer, mix very well till the content becomes a quite fluffy but stiff paste. The dough is left to rise overnight. Get your steamer ready. Fetch and beat onto the abolo leaves which have been pre-cleaned. Arrange in a steamer and steam for some minutes over boiling water. Remove from steamer when ready and serve with your desired sauce, stew or soup with fried fish. Abolo pairs pretty well with freshly ground pepper or shito and fried tiny white bakes known as 1 man thousand. You can also knock it out with some fried shrimps and you will ask for more. Note, 1 abolo is not enough to fill a stomach.
You're watching News Hour live on GBC News and GTV. We take a break and return with business, entertainment, and some sports news to stay.
Hisense new. Ye ka Hisense a mo amunim se eye home appliances a efe eye papa entry power ne buo no so dafo. Hisense a ubeto abrochim. Sa quality na ubeto ne Ghana. And nunti na yenya hoto so ya ma 5 years manufacture defect warranty. Air condition, television, say refrigerator, washing machine, sound system, gas cooker, electric cooker, smartphone, and iron. The one dear, yes, in a power bia. Ain't it power Hisense showroom? Quite dear. Hisense, everyday prices for everyday people.
MedShay, natural mosquito repellent, highly recommended by Ministry of Health, CHAS and GES, lab tested by Noguchi Medical, field trialed by Atomic Energy Commission. It has no chemical or side effects and is good for all ages and skin type. MedShay is available nationwide. Contact us on 0244892413. This advert is approved by FDA.
Thanks for staying on. Let's do business. A consortium of banks is set to move ahead with plans to confiscate and auction the assets of the producer buying company PBC after securing a significant legal victory at the Accra High Court. The court meanwhile dismissed an application for a stay of execution filed by PBC, effectively granting the banks the legal authority to proceed with the judicial sale of the company's assets.
The ruling clears the final legal obstacle that had delayed the bank's attempt to enforce an earlier judgment. With the stay of execution rejected, the financial institutions can now begin the process of attaching and auctioning properties belonging to the cocoa purchasing firm. Industry observers say the decision could lead to the sale of several key assets owned by PBC, including buildings, warehouses, operational facilities, vehicles, and other logistical resources used in its cocoa buying operations. The challenge stems from a loan facility extended to PBC by a consortium of banks. Following the company's default of its payment obligations, the banks pursued legal action to recover their funds. The courts in 2024 ruled in favor of the banks and granted them the right to attach and sell PBC's assets. In 2024, the consortium had begun processes to take over PBC's assets. However, PBC sought a stay of execution, but the court dismissed that application on March 9, 2026. Some industry players say if the government does not move to halt the action, the bank's proceedings with the sale of the assets could pose a major challenge for the entire cocoa industry. For decades, PBC has been one of the pillars of Ghana's cocoa purchasing system. From rural cocoa growing communities to national export chain, the company has served as a bridge between farmers and the global cocoa market. If the auction proceeds, the country could witness the dismantling of a company that has served the cocoa sector for decades, as warehouses and offices could be sold.
Insurance leaders from across Africa have called for deeper collaboration and innovation to accelerate the growth of the continent's insurance industry. This came up at an insurance conference in Accra organized by the African Network of Insurance Association, a body that brings together national insurance associations from about 17 African countries.
Regulators, insurance associations, and industry players gathered to deliberate on strategies to expand insurance penetration across Africa, which currently hovers below 2% compared to the global average of about 5.6%. Chairman of the Africa Network of Insurance Association, ANIA, and Chief Executive of the Uganda Insurance Association, Jonan Kisaki, urged associations to deepen partnerships and share knowledge across borders to strengthen the industry and improve insurance accessibility across the continent. President of the Ghana Insurance Association, Boatema Bafwewa, noted that Africa's insurance sector holds enormous untapped potential despite its relatively small share of global insurance assets. She said global insurance assets stood at about $775 trillion as of December 2024. Yet, Africa's insurance sector accounts for only a small portion of that figure. She said innovation, digitalization, and emerging technologies such as artificial intelligence could transform the sector if supported by practical and forward-looking policies.
The true success of this retreat will depend not only on the quality of our deliberations, but also the strength and practicality of the solutions that we develop.
The Commissioner of Insurance, Dr. Abiba Zakaria, said regulators must focus on collaboration with insurers rather than simply issuing directives in order to create an enabling environment for growth.
The need to collaborate cannot be overemphasized. We need to collaborate through our various associations, through our policies, as we have heard, through our objectives, through our strategies, and through networking.
African insurers and regulators have committed to deepen cooperation, promote innovation, and build a more resilient insurance sector capable of supporting the continent's economic transformation.
The Ghana Standards Authority, in partnership with Germany's Federal Institute for Material Research and Testing, has begun a week-long training program in Accra. This is aimed at helping artisans in Ghana's informal construction sector to improve the quality of concrete used in building projects.
Across Ghana's construction sector, concrete remains one of the most widely used building materials. But construction experts say poor mixing practices and limited technical knowledge among informal sector artisans often lead to weak concrete structures that fail to meet quality standards. The Deputy Director General of the Ghana Standards Authority, Samuel Jabanyete, said the initiative deliberately targets the informal sector, where the majority of construction activity in the country takes place. According to him, empowering artisans with technical knowledge is needed to produce durable concrete structures.
The world is moving now into this program we call circular economy. Circular economy is about the reusability of materials and local materials within our environment. And we have found that in the cement industry, a lot of local materials can be used, which will make up for the amount of clinker that is used. And in so doing, we would have reduced the cost of importation of clinker, because cost of construction is going to be reduced, because the local material will make up for the foreign ones that we are bringing.
A researcher with the Federal Institute for Materials Research and Testing, Wolfram Schmidt, explains that the handbook will help both formal and informal construction workers produce stronger and safer concrete while reducing production costs.
If we really want to bring good concrete practice into the country, we have to address those people who work with it on a daily basis. And therefore we are here in Jamestown under the iconic lighthouse to show how it really works and what we can do to make concrete construction better and safer for everybody with local materials.
The initiative also promotes the use of locally available materials such as calcined clay in cement production, which experts say can reduce reliance on imported clinker while lowering construction costs and carbon emissions. The Ghana Standards Authority believes that improving concrete quality and promoting sustainable building materials will strengthen Ghana's construction industry while supporting long-term infrastructure development.
Let's have the performance of the local currency on the forex market.
You go explain tire.
Let's all join the ride to make our nation great and strong.
MedShay, natural mosquito repellent, highly recommended by Ministry of Health, CHAS and GES, lab tested by Noguchi Medical, field trialed by Atomic Energy Commission. It has no chemical or side effects and is good for all ages and skin type. MedShay is available nationwide. Contact us on 0244892413. This advert is approved by FDA.
Hello, good evening. This is the Energy News segment. My name is Mabel Anang. The Tema Oil Refinery Tor is preparing to increase its production capacity as part of renewed efforts to strengthen operations and improve output at the facility. The refinery is currently undertaking technical processes aimed at expanding its processing capabilities from 28,000 barrels per stream day to 45,000 barrels per stream day.
The expansion forms part of broader plans to revitalize the refinery and enhance its contribution to the country's petroleum sector. Officials say the planned increase will be achieved through the integration of an additional processing unit known as the F61 unit, which will operate alongside the existing F1 unit. Both units will be connected to the refinery's crude distillation system to improve overall efficiency and output. Management explained that operations have continued since the refinery resumed production, with engineers currently working through transitional technical procedures required to incorporate the new unit into the processing system. Once the integration is completed, the refinery expects its output to rise significantly from the current level of 28,000 barrels per stream day to 45,000 barrels per stream day. The refinery is presently operating under a tolling arrangement, a system in which private companies supply crude oil to the facility for processing. Under this arrangement, the refinery refines the crude and charges a processing fee, while the refined petroleum products are returned to the companies that provided the crude. Corporate Affairs Officer of TOR, Godwin Mahama Ayaba, explained that under the tolling system, the refinery does not control the marketing or distribution of the finished product, as those decisions are taken by the crude oil suppliers. Mr. Ayaba also indicated that management is also considering plans to expand capacity to about 60,000 barrels per stream day in the medium term.
Now, the Chief Executive of the Ghana National Gas Company, Ghana Gas, Madam Judith Ajoba Blay, has called for greater inclusion of women in the energy sector to ensure a successful energy transition agenda. She made the call in Accra during the maiden edition of the Ghana Gas International Women's Day celebration, where she officially unveiled the Ghana Gas Ladies Association.
After a long wait, the Ghana Gas Ladies Association has been unveiled during the maiden edition of the Ghana Gas International Women's Day celebration organized by the company. The Ghana Gas Ladies Association is expected to foster collaboration, mentorship, advocacy, and professional development among female staff, while also encouraging more women to pursue and build careers in the oil and gas sector. The initiative forms part of efforts by Ghana Gas to promote gender diversity and strengthen the role of women in Ghana's evolving energy landscape. Speaking at the event, Chief Executive of Ghana National Gas Company, Madam Judith Ajoba Blay, noted that although the energy industry remains largely male-dominated, equipping more women with the skills and opportunities to advance in their careers will accelerate their participation in the energy transition agenda.
It is a commitment to opportunity, ensuring that women in our organization, communities, and even industries have the tools, the training platforms they need to excel in engineering, economics, finance, and other critical disciplines that underpin core operational and leadership roles.
Deputy Chief of Staff Nana Oyebampo Ado also urged women's associations within the energy sector to collaborate in empowering more women to take up leadership and technical roles.
When women are supported to grow and succeed, institutions become stronger, industries become more innovative, and societies become more prosperous. So simply put, when women thrive, we all rise.
The Deputy Minister for Energy and Green Transition, Richard Jan Mensah, pledged the ministry's commitment to creating more opportunities for women to contribute to shaping Ghana's energy landscape.
We believe that women should be given their space, and it's not a space that is not competitive. Women are ready to take up every key position, not by just giving it to them by merit.
As part of the launch, the Ladies Association also unveiled its official logo. The event was held under the theme Give to Gain.
This ends the Energy News segment. My name is Mabel Anna. Health News is up next.
Mrs. Papa. Sisi yoko, I know uncle. Sorry, Mrs. Go search the back man no do not trash. The friend Angel Rock Miss. And you Mrs. Yaripa, Mrs. Cameron and say, a drink with the one. Angel Rock Mixture, a dinner wabono. The friend tells them, Angel Rock Mixture, Angel Rock Mixture, one man Mrs. might do it for me. Angel Rock Mixture, Angel Rock Mixture, Rock me.
If I don't want to work, oh, doctor, won't tell man nipa won't you do what and says a pin for no, ne oba, warm a cordano for FD, I get the income to ya too.
Welcome to the health segment. Kidney disease is often described as a silent killer, but awareness and early detection can save lives. At the Bema camp in Accra, the Ghana Armed Forces launched activities for World Kidney Day 2026 in raising public awareness about the condition and its impact.
The initiative, being spearheaded by a collaborative effort of the Ghana Armed Forces, its Critical Care and Emergency Unit and the 37 Military Hospital, is to raise awareness about kidney health. The director of the 37 Military Hospital, Dr. Robert Amesia, highlighted kidney disease as a growing public health concern and called for stronger collaboration to promote early diagnosis, regular screening and healthier lifestyles. Commander Paul Entry of the Ghana Armed Forces, Critical Care and Emergency Unit at the 37 Military Hospital, described kidney disease as a silent killer, often undetected until it reaches an advanced stage. He urged the public to undergo regular medical screening.
The impact of the environment on the kidney is very direct, such that if we have a polluted environment, it's going to affect the kidney. And when people get mosquito or malaria infection and the management is not optimum or the infection is very severe, their red blood cells will break down, and heavy breakdown of red blood cells would damage the kidneys.
The Minister for Health, Mr. Kwabena Mensah Akando, commended the 37 Military Hospital and the Ghana Armed Forces for leading the initiative. He announced that the ministry is partnering with private institutions to expand access to dialysis treatment nationwide.
If we are serious about reducing the burden of kidney disease, then our response must be coordinated, sustained, and forward-looking to improve the geographical availability of dialysis services, The Ministry of Health is partnering with the private sector to support the delivery and expansion of dialysis services across the country. This partnership approach is intended to help bridge gaps in access, bring services closer to patients, and strengthen the overall national response to kidney failure.
The launch marks the start of nationwide awareness campaigns, health screenings, and educational activities aimed at reducing the impact of kidney disease in Ghana. Organizers are urging the public to take proactive steps in protecting their kidney health and to participate in upcoming events.
"30 people have been killed in floods and landslides triggered by heavy rainfall in the Gamo zone of southern Ethiopia. Authorities reported that most people had died in highland areas where saturated slopes gave way after days of intense rain. Officials have urged residents in vulnerable areas to take precautions. Time now for sports. The 5th edition of the Rainbow Nations Challenge Tennis Tournament is underway at the Accra Lawn Tennis Club. Funds raised will go to support community projects, including a CSR program for girls tennis.
The Rainbow Nations Challenge Tennis Tournament is organized by the Ghana South Africa Business Chamber. It serves as a major international networking platform for diplomatic and business communities, with process supporting educational scholarships for girls in tennis. Players numbering over 50 from 16 countries are participating. Team USA last year successfully defended their title. Launching this year's event, organizer for the Rainbow Nations Sport in Ghana, Mr. Chris Everett, said their aim is to promote good relations among the business communities.
The Rainbow Nations Tennis started off with 56 players and 20 different nationalities, mixed players, doubles, for the past 5 years, and we are proud to say this year again, we are 58 players, there are 20 different nationalities, 15 ladies and 43 men. This event, the main purpose is to build a good relationship amongst business people, diplomats, all across the board in Ghana. The group is comprised by different nationalities with a main aim to meet friends, to give business in a healthy environment of tennis.
The president of the Ghana South Africa Business Chamber, Mr. Tony Setcher, said they will continue to support projects that impact society.
This year has been awesome by way of participation, the number of countries that we have managed to put together. We currently have 16 different countries that we have brought together to participate in this. The sporting excellence that we are expected to see will be unprecedented, and we believe that over the next 2 days, it is a place to be. So we invite individuals and other businesses to come through so that they can come and witness this sporting excellence. The aim is that we're probably going to take it nationwide. So in the future, we will select regional centers where we're going to be able to hold regular sporting events such as these, because we feel that it's growing larger and larger, and it will be excellent for us to expose this to the National Sporting Center.
The Accra Lawn Tennis Club will, in the next 2 days, be alive with great tennis artistry.
The Inspector General of Police, Christian Tete Yohuno, has commended the Minister for Sports and Recreation Mr. Kofi Adams for what he describes as strong leadership aimed at revitalizing Ghana's sporting environment.
During a visit to the minister's office in Accra, the police chief praised the minister's commitment to restoring confidence and order within the country's sports sector. The meeting also highlighted a growing partnership between the Ghana Police Service and the Ministry of Sports and Recreation to ensure safety at sporting events across the country. Both leaders discussed practical ways to strengthen cooperation between security personnel and sporting bodies, particularly in maintaining peace and order at league venues and major sporting competitions. Mr. Kofi Adams in turn applauded the professionalism of the Ghana Police Sports Unit, noting their crucial role in maintaining security during football matches and other sporting activities nationwide. He also singled out the remarkable performance of the Police Ladies Football Club, whose achievement continues to raise Ghana's profile in women's football on the African stage. Beyond security, the discussions focused on improving sports infrastructure and expanding recreational opportunities for young people. Both leaders acknowledged that sports remains a powerful tool for youth development, healthy living, and national unity. The sports minister expressed appreciation for the visit by the IGP and reaffirmed his commitment to working closely with the police service to strengthen sports development across the country.
In the arts segment, it was all fun at the Afrikiko Resort at Akosombo in the eastern region, where a renowned Ghanaian high-life musician, Elizabeth Ekusi-Agyapong, organized a cooking competition and other indoor games for some selected security agencies and religious organizations. It was her way of celebrating the Heritage Month and promoting indigenous Ghanaian dishes.
The cooking competition involved 11 institutions, including the police service, immigration, fire service, and the Santa Barbara Catholic Church at Akosombo. The competitors had a very limited time to create, cook, and present dishes to expert judges who focused on skill, creativity, and speed. Contestants were tasked with preparing traditional dishes such as rice, fufu, and rice pizza using locally sourced ingredients. Time, cleanliness, and presentation of the food were used in scoring marks. The program featured other activities such as the tag of peas and musical chairs. The organizer of the program, Elizabeth Ekusi-Agyapong, a Ghanaian high-life musician, said she organized the program to promote the consumption of indigenous foods and celebrate Ghana's rich cultural heritage. She emphasized that peace is very essential in national development and urged Ghanaians to reflect on peace as the country celebrates its Heritage Month. The competition will be extended to other parts of the country.
They're doing this because we want women to know that peace means happiness in the home.
At the end of the competition, the Akosombo Santa Barbara Catholic Church team, led by Rita Atanga, emerged winner with their Dawadawa Jollof dish. Rita said the type of food was chosen through a ballot. With adequate preparation, they were able to win the competition.
We are so happy, we are excited. It wasn't easy, but we have to fight our way through it, and we made it. So we are super happy. Thank you.
Awards were presented to the contestants. Ghanaian cuisine is renowned for its rich flavors, creativity, and unique ability to bring people together.
Congratulations to the winner and all other participants. That's by way of News Hour. My name is Clara Mlano. Roberts Frimpong Manso interpreted the news into sign language. We are back at 10 p.m. with News Tonight. Good evening.